Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with part 8 of your absolute favorite series ever. Today on the list, Nmixx, Ateez, ZEROBASEONE, and Ateez Circle. Before we get into the video, as usual we need to get the disclaimer out of the way first. I do these videos for my personal practice, and hopefully you find entertainment in watching me come up with different design ideas for existing K-pop albums. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below whenever you like, and now, let's get into it.
Top, looking pretty, follow me. 우리 둘이 나란히 보이지 내 눈이 갑자기 빛나지 when you say I'm a dream. You don't even know my name.
First up we have Nmixx. Personally, I don't have any issues with the original packaging. I think it looks lovely, very fairy tale-esque, which is what I was expecting. The iridescent text is a great choice and the actual photos are also pretty good. The only thing I'd say I don't like is how it arrives with parchment paper wrapped around it. I understand the sentiment, but maybe we should have just put it in a sleeve. Moving on to my mood board for this redesign, I really like the dreaminess of this concept, so I definitely want that in the packaging again. I do want to use a lot more green as well as some handwritten details maybe. I'm not sure how I want this to go yet, but let's just see where my mind takes me. Now, my thoughts on the comeback. First of all, it's just 2 songs again, which is a bit disappointing. I thought their Expergo album was so well produced and fun to listen to. I wanted to hear more of them, but I understand that this is a good tactic to be more active without having to record more songs. Regardless, I thought Roller Coaster was a perfect pre-release and my personal favorite of this EP. Visually beautiful, but also sonically it sounds incredible. I know some people thought it was a bit newjeans inspired, and well, even if it was a great source of inspiration. Actually, I want all groups to take a bit from newjeans and make it their own. There's a reason why everything they do is an instant hit. Now the title track Party O'Clock, I do like it, but I'm not in love with it. Kpop is nowhere to be found, and that is okay. I can live with that, so I'm not too mad at it. Honestly, I think the song has maybe too much talk rapping. I feel like Red Velvet found the perfect middle ground, and I wish Nmixx would let the song breathe and maybe explore different directions just like they do in their Kpop era, just a bit more polished. Overall, a good song, but I much prefer Roller Coaster. Next up we have Ateez. I've heard a lot of people say they dislike it, or think it's not interesting enough. Personally, I like the color and comic book concept, although I'm not sure how well it works all together. Like the manga characters in the concept photos are definitely cool, but for bouncy and the album in general, I'm not too sure. Ateez's album design is pretty consistent, the font is usually bold, the text is big, and the design is kept pretty standard. Again, don't hate it, but let's see where else this could have gone. And this brings me to my super cool mood board. Honestly, it's pretty empty because, well, I don't know where I'm going yet. So I decided to not overwhelm myself too much and pick a general color palette and stick with it. Also, I like the idea of changing the album name from The World Episode to Outlaw, to K Hot Chili Peppers. It just hits different. Now, I already explained my thoughts on this album and title track, so let me make it quick. Bouncy slaps. The album reminds me of Cyberpunk 2077, everything sounds cool and interesting, and I think Ateez are the only group that can pull it off so effortlessly. Also the way their music videos keep getting better and better, insane. This as always was a great Ateez comeback, and that's all I have to say.
Let me get to romance in you. 이 공간에 살 수 없는 사람 중 우린 서로를 알아봐 운명인 듯 그다음 이런 게스터 당겨지는 둘 반짝이는 조명 아래 넌 great 솔직하게 느껴지는 감정을 play 텐션을 깰 생각은 막 계속해서 더 배가 될 수 있게 시간을 멈춰 just chance and make 햇살이 밤에 거울릴 여기에 지금 이대로 I can't say 긴장은 풀어줘 Baby, you know what to do. Let's make my show. Let's make my show. Let's get started. 우리만의 private party. Let's make my show. Let's make my show. Let's make my party. 우리만의 private party. 우리만의 private party. Private party.
Make it bouncy 지금부터 fly 좀 다른 spicy 청양고추 vibe If you wanna know how I can show you right now 그래 저 bounce bounce 하늘 위로 fly fly If you wanna know how I can show you right now
Wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy.
Here we are again. First of all, I think we can collectively agree on this album design being very, very mediocre and pretty uninteresting to look at. My opinion of course, but I have heard many say the same. One thing I will say, Odd Eye Circle has 3 members, which is the ideal number for good group pictures. Modhouse really needs to take this opportunity and make it happen. The concept is right in front of you. My issue with this album is mainly with the color choices, or lack thereof. Black? For Odd Eye Circle? And suits? Bad choice and way too vivid coded. Honestly, when the teasers dropped with diamonds or whatever, I immediately recognized it as Viviz and not OC. But you know, fine, I'll allow it for now because having Odd Eye Circle back is more than I ever could have asked for, and so I will never complain about anything ever again. Moving on to my mood board, my main focus was the concept of rebirth and reincarnation, by using water and the color blue to symbolize breaking away from your past and being reborn into yourself. About this album, I have to say I was really nervous before listening to it in its entirety. If you've been into K-pop for a while, you'd probably know and understand the impact of Mix and Match. It's jam-packed with the most iconic K-pop songs to ever come out. So I was wondering whether we would actually go back to that sort of dream poppy sound, or completely move away from that and well, become Viviz or somebody else. Turns out all is well. Odd Eye Circle didn't change much, and I'm sure next comeback will get a banger concept, a banger tracklist, banger visuals, and I'll be the happiest girl. Amen.
Baby 당기네 점점 열이 나 사실 맘이 어린 나 그냥 난 다 일심도 없이 sais quoi 날 따라가고 싶어 너에게 매겨 사랑이란 깜짝했고 sais quoi 내 맘을 허락해줘 아슬아슬한 거를 땅보가 달라져 너의 rhythm Tell me 우리만 아는 비밀 하나지
Last redesign, ZEROBASEONE's Youth in the Shade. This was the most requested redesign and, I do see why you guys felt underwhelmed by this. First, group pictures, boo. The bane of my existence. Second, I don't think the album matches the title track, which to me is very warm, fun and summery. Right now all I'm thinking about is I need to add yellow and orange to this album. And this brings me to my mood board. As you can see the color palette has changed drastically. I think overall, this represents the title track and album much more. I'm also thinking about adding something like a rub and smell sticker? Or fabric, anything like that I think would be nice. I know somebody mentioned that the original album is heat reactive. So that is definitely something I want to keep. Anyways, let's talk about this album and, honestly, I was pretty underwhelmed. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible or unlistenable by any means, but the title track to me is the only good song. Everything else is pretty okay to a bit boring. But as a debut album, I guess it's fine. I don't think I'll go back to it, but if you enjoyed it, let me know your favorite track.
매일매일 같은 하루 끝에 이렇다 변함없는 일상 탓에 일탈하고 싶은 나인가봐 아니 그런 날인가봐 oh yeah. 어제와 다를 게 없던 길이 영화에서 나보단 거긴 뭐지 페리스 샹젤리제 거리 그래 거기 같아 오늘 밤은 Friday night 모든 게 자유로운 밤이야 연인들 사이로 눈에 띈 너를 향해 달려 이 시간이 지나면 곧 잊혀지게 될 텐데 잠들지 못하는 밤 너는 더 눈부시잖아 다른 건 아무 필요 없어 나에게 맘을 열어 거리에 내린 밤하늘 별빛 그 속에 가장 빛나는 불빛 내 맘은 vroom 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 너에게 vroom 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 출발을 알린 모색의 불빛 빨갛게 번진 질주의 눈빛 내 맘은 vroom 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 너에게 vroom 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 매일매일 같은 사람들이 의미 없는 대화들만 오고 갈 때 눈과 귀와 마음은 다른 오늘 같은 날은 화려한 네온 사인으로 꽉 찬 아름다운 사람들로 가득 찬 이 밤 자극이 좀 필요한 밤 Baby I'm so fly 너를 닮은 Friday night 모든 게 자유로운 밤이야 시간 틈 사이로 널 쫓아 일난 힘껏 달려 어디든 상관없으니 곁에 둘 수만 있다면 다른 건 아무 필요 없어 나에게 맘을 열어 거리에 내린 밤하늘 별빛 그 속에 가장 빛나는 불빛 내 맘은 vroom 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 너에게 vroom 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 출발을 알린 원색의 불빛 빨갛게 번진 질주의 눈빛 내 맘은 vroom 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 너에게 vroom vroom vroom